On behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Polytechnic College Institute Innovation Council, I welcome all the participants and the resource persons, Yohanand sir and Ranjit Kumar sir, for the today's session. Samyukta ma'am, we shall start, ma'am.
Yes, Shankar, we'll start. A very good morning to everyone. We are here for an awareness program on innovation, startup, and IPR organized by Institutions Innovation Council of our college. We have two eminent resource persons here with us today. Here is a small bio sketch of our resource persons. Our first resource person, Dr. J. Yoganand. He has received his doctoral degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli in the year 2014. He did his postgraduate studies specializing in CAD/CAM engineering from Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore, and his BE degree in mechanical engineering from Karpagam College of Engineering, Coimbatore. Sir has been actively involved as project associate in the NLC NITT collaborative project, evaluation and prevention of corrosion in stormwater control pumps of Neyveli lignite mines at NIT Trichy. He has 9 papers in international journals and 1 paper in national journal to his credit, and he was sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology, India, under Young Scientist Scheme to present his paper in the International Conference on Surface Modification Technology 26 held at École Centrale de Lyon, France. His areas of interest are on tribology, surface engineering, weld cladding composite materials, and advanced manufacturing process. Sir has 8 years of teaching experience and 2 years of research experience. Currently, he is working as Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College, Coimbatore. Welcome, sir. And another resource person, Mr. C. Ranjit Kumar, is currently working as Assistant Professor, Senior Grade in the Department of Information Technology. He is currently pursuing his PhD degree in Information and Communication and Engineering in Anna University, Chennai. He has completed his ME degree in Computer Science Engineering from Sri Krishna College of Engineering and completed his Bachelor of Technology degree in IT from Dr. Mahalingam College of Engineering and Technology. Sir has received awards in the elite category of Top 100 International Distinguished Educators, Green Thinkers Awards 2020, Faculty of the Year Award by IBAE 2021, and Outstanding Faculty Mentor Award from Novel Research Academy, Puducherry. He has completed a sabbatical research program in NBIDA, Bennett Research Center on Artificial Intelligence under Leading India AI at Computer Science Engineering Department, Bennett University, Greater Noida. Sir has published 2 patents under his name, and he served as reviewer for International Journal of Machine Learning and Computing and Journal of Supercomputing, Springer. He has been mentoring students for hackathons, project contest, and he is a life member of CSI, ISTE, IAENG, and IACSIT. We are happy to have you both. Now, I kindly request Mr. Ranjit Kumar to take over the session. Sir, please.
Ranjit, please switch on your mic, Ranjit.
Sir, kindly unmute, sir. We are not able to hear you.
Yeah, ma'am, is my PPT visible? So is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah. So just okay. So good morning, everyone, to all the faculty members and the students participants. So this session is mainly focused on. First, I would talk about design thinking and innovation. So before starting it, so I want to know how many of them know what is innovation and creativity. So can anyone tell me what is innovation and creativity? What is
to explore something new, sir.
Okay. So creativity. So I am someone. What is creativity and what is innovation? Is that both are same or different? Any answers? It may be right or wrong, whatever it is. You can just say your views on what is creativity and what is innovation.
So creativity becomes innovation. Sir.
Creativity becomes innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah. So what do you mean out of box thinking? So people talk say about out of box thinking. Is it innovation or creativity, or it is a combination of both? And it is out of box thinking.
So creative. Sir.
Creativity. Okay. So let us put it in this way. Okay. So now, whenever I talk about innovation, so I think you guys are doing your projects, right? And diploma, you have some projects with you to do, right? It may be either in the first year or second year, wherever you do a project. Now, given a problem statement, so how will you achieve the solution for the problem statement? Can anyone? See, a problem statement is given to you. It may be in any field. Okay, what a problem statement may be in any sector. A problem statement is given to you. So how will you attain the solution for that problem statement? So how will you approach the problem statement? I want your answers. Then I would say how to approach, right? So just want your views or opinions on that. Okay, someone could answer, right? It is never mind whether it's right or wrong, but someone can answer.
We can analyze what's the real facing
What is the real?
problem facing by them, and what are the ways we can develop it.
Okay, so it may be like that. Then,
Sir,
so
we need
I'm
to
asking.
plan, sir.
Yeah, come again.
We need to plan.
You need to plan. Okay, then any other answers? See, you are doing a project. Okay, assume that you're doing a project. Okay, it may be in any hackathon or whatever exhibition, project exhibition, wherever it is. There is a problem statement given to you. So you need to attain a solution for that problem statement. So my question is, what will be a strategy to solve, or to what will be a strategy to attain the solution for that given problem statement? Okay, so that is what I'm trying to convey here. Okay, so this session is all about that. So given a problem statement, so how we are going to attain the solution? And before starting anything, the main thing which I'm talking about is here design thinking. Okay, so design thinking is nothing but we must design for the way people behave, not for how we would wish them to behave. Can you get this point? That is called design thinking. We must design for the way people behave, okay, and not for how we wish them to behave. That is, whatever approach or whatever solution you develop, it should be a human centric, not a business centric approach. To be very simple, is whatever solution you develop, it should focus mainly on human centric approach and not on the business centric approach. Okay, so let me give a one thought process. Okay, so given a problem statement, there is always going to be a solution for that problem statement. If there is a problem, definitely there is going to be a solution for that problem. Okay, otherwise we do not talk about the problem itself. That is what is happening, right? So everyone can understand this, right? If you give, whenever a problem is given, definitely for that problem a solution will be there. Somehow there will be a solution. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? Yes, can you get me? Given a problem, definitely there will be a solution. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the point is that, so whatever problem statement is given, definitely you are going to achieve a solution for that problem statement. But the thing is, the in between this, okay, to attain the solution, so what you're going to do or what steps you're going to take, that is where we ask the questions why and how. Okay, you should ask the questions why and how. Okay, so problem statement, okay, to be very precise, உங்ககிட்ட problem statement இருக்கு, solution இருக்கும். இந்த problem statementக்கும் இந்த solution எப்படி connect பண்றோம்? So இந்த நடுவுல, okay, the in between this which happens is your creativity innovation. The creativity innovation happens for this given problem statement to attain the solution. So in between that, your creativity innovation takes place. Okay, So now, this is one format which we usually try to do. Okay. So always keep in mind that whenever you're given with a problem statement, definitely have a solution for that problem statement. The only thing is why you need to solve that problem or how you're going to attain the solution. These two things need to be asked. Okay. On the most of the times, when you try to answer these two questions, there comes your innovation and creativity. There comes your innovation and creativity, right? So now, okay, as I said, design thinking is mainly an approach for creative problem solving approach. We say it's a problem solving approach. Okay, so let me put like this. Okay, so this is how normally people think and what design thinking is all about. A business thinking is nothing but you have a problem, you have a solution. Okay, so say that you give a problem statement for you develop a solution, but that solution will not sustain in market for a long term. Okay, so let us say that I am developing a product. Okay, I am developing a product which I am trying to commercialize in the market. Okay, I'm developing a product and trying to commercialize in the market. Okay, if the product which I have developed is focused on the business aspects, then definitely it won't be for a long-term success. Now, at the same time, if I develop a product and if I'm able to incorporate the customer feedback, that is, we said it's a critics comment. If I'm able to incorporate the customer's feedback, then my solution or my approach or my product will be a long-term run. That is where we say as a human-centric approach. So you should act according to the needs of the user. So what he expects from you, you have to get his feedback and you have to develop a product. Yeah, and then you have to commercialize to the market. So that is where guys, someone is speaking, please mute yourself. Okay, so that is where business thinking and design thinking comes into place. Okay, now, okay, so now why design thinking? So after asking this, why design thinking? Okay, so guys, any problem? I think someone is talking. Just a minute. Shobin and Naren, guys, do you have some issues? Okay, okay, now, right? So why design thinking? So see, for example, let us say that you are developing a solution for a farmer. Okay, many people would have a thought process that why do I develop a solution for a farmer using the latest technology? That may be a thought. Or why don't I develop a technology which can be used for healthcare sector? So these are the things which we run in your mind. Okay, many other people would think about that. But what is the problem is that what is the ultimate problem people facing is that they do not focus or approach the end users. Okay, for example, let's say that you are developing a solution or a technology for farmers. Most of the people would never approach the farmer and ask his problem personally. Okay, they understand the problem by themselves and they develop a solution, but they never get the input from the farmer because a farmer would have his own plus points and his negative points. So what as a developer you need to do is you have to get the feedback from the end users or who are your customers or stakeholders. You have to get a feedback from them. Without getting a proper feedback from them, whatever solution you develop, it is not it is of no use. Okay, so to be precise, these are the 5 phases you have to think in a design thinking aspect. Okay, these are the 5 phases of design thinking. The first one is empathy. Okay, so being in one's place. See, if I am a farmer, okay, you see, I'm doing a project or I'm doing a product development. Okay, so when I do a product for a farmer, what I have to do is I have to be in the place of a farmer. Okay, I have to think from a farmer perspective, what will be my plus points and what will be my negative points to develop such a solution. So you should have the empathy towards others, not a sympathy. I'm not talking about sympathy, you have to have the empathy. So you have to be in one's place. You should be in the place of farmer. You should behave like a farmer. So if you are a farmer, what are the problems you face in a field? Only you have to collect it. Okay, so there will be a lot of positive points and negative points. So what are the points you have to take is you have to take the negative points. Okay, you have to take the negative points. Okay, then the second thing is that define phase. Okay, empathy is nothing but that is gathering information from their stakeholders. Okay, so what is positive points and negative points? You have to gather those things, and next you have to define your problem statement. Okay, so from the whole perspective of a problem statement, you're narrowing a problem statement. That is where define comes in. Okay, so you have a set of pain points, that is the negative points the farmers face today. That is a pain points. So you have a set of pain points. In that pain points, you see which is the most hurting pain points. Okay, which one is the most hurting pain point. So why don't you focus on that to develop a solution? So you have to narrow down your problem statement. That is what it's all about. Define. Okay, so if there are 10 if there are 10 pain points, from the 10 pain points, there will be one particular pain where it will hugely affect the farmers. So why don't you focus on that? So now you are narrow downing a problem statement. So that is what a define phase is all about. From the define phase, now we're going to your ideate phase. Okay, now ideate phase is that what solution could I, or what are the approaches can I do for developing a product? Okay, or a problem statement. We have narrowed down a problem statement. For that given problem statement, how we are going to develop a technology for that given problem statement. So you have to ideate. You have to have a brainstorming session. So any project, you have a team, right? You have a 3 members team or a 4 members team, our team. So you as a team members, you have to brainstorm yourself. Okay, because each and every one of the perspective will be different. So you have to have a brainstorming session. You have to discuss among yourself and come with an idea for the narrow down problem statement. So once you are available with your ideation, now you have to prototype. Now you have to develop a proof of concept for that idea. Okay, that is where your research, okay, your technology comes into play. Okay, technology, when I say technology, it is not only about a mobile application or AI technology or cyber security, whatever technology it is. So whichever technology is feasible for that problem statement, you have to choose. Okay, so always remember that keep problem statement in the front and then choose a technology. Okay, don't choose technology first and then develop the problem statement, right? Should not be a reverse thing. Okay, கொடுத்துக்கிற ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு நான் என்ன டெக்னாலஜி யூஸ் பண்ணால் கரெக்டாக இருக்குன்னு நீங்கள் யோசிக்கின்னு தவிர ஸோ இந்த டெக்னாலஜி ரொம்ப ஃபேமஸாக இருக்குது. ஓகே, வாட் பீப்புள் மெயின்லி திங் இஸ் ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் ஆர் சைபர் செக்யூரிட்டி இஸ் த ஹேப்பனிங் டெக்னாலஜி டுடே. ஸோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் பார்த்தோன்னா இதுக்கு நான் ஏஐ யூஸ் பண்ணுறேன் ஆர் ஐம் யூசிங் சைபர் செக்யூரிட்டி ஃபார் திஸ். தட் வுட் நாட் ஹேப்பன். For that given problem statement, you should really analyze whether AI is required or cyber security is required or mobile app is required or any IoT is required. You have to analyze the problem statement, then choose the technology accordingly. So now, based upon the technology, you are developing a prototype. Okay, you are developing a prototype. Once you develop a prototype, the next one is you have to test that prototype. Okay, testing is nothing but you should have a small group of users and உங்க ப்ராடக்ட் அவங்க கொடுத்து நீங்க டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி. You have to test your product with those set of customers because they are the people who test your product and give the valuable feedback. That is critics comments னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Whenever you go to a movie, okay, அந்த மூவில ரிவ்யூஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா, சேம் லைக் தட் whatever product you develop, the product should be reviewed by a group of people and that group of people would give your comments. Okay, we say it as a critic comments. There may be good comments and there may be some negative comments. So what are the negative comments? You have to take that and you could identify whether you could give a solution for that problem, that negative points. அதுக்கு நீங்க ஏதாவது சொல்யூஷன் கொடுக்க முடியுமா அப்படின்னு நீங்க யோசிச்சு then again you have to redefine your prototype. Then you have to go for a commercialization. That will become a successful product in the market. Okay, so these are the basic essential step required for a lifetime. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அப்ரோச்ல நீங்க போனீங்கன்னா, okay, if you take an approach like this, then your product will be a good product in the commercialization perspective. That is where you can become a entrepreneur. In future வந்து ஒரு entrepreneur ஆகுனா கண்டிப்பா இந்த qualities ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். The 5 phases of design thinking is very very important to become a successful entrepreneur. If you are developing a product for a namesake alone, then it will not go out of the market. Okay, I don't know how many people follow this strategy for developing a small product. Okay, so always think from the customer's perspective. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரச்சனை இருக்குன்னு தெரிஞ்சிட்டு அந்த பிரச்சனைக்கு சொல்யூஷன் டெவலப் பண்ணும், right? And we say it as a double diamond approach. Okay, for this approach it can be as a double diamond approach. So what we do, first we design the right thing and next one is we design the things right. So these are the two main aspects we focus on the double diamond approach. Design the right thing and design things right. Okay, so these two are the aspects of a main double diamond approach. Okay, so designing the right thing, what you have to do, you are given a problem. For the problem you get the insights for that problem and you explore the various aspects of the problem and then finally you narrow down a single problem statement. Now design the right thing. So once you narrow down the problem statement, you have to ideate. So when you ideate, you have get a lot of ideas. So you have a diversified thinking, and you have to listen to your teammates and your customers. Once you get the input from them, and then again you have to converge and develop a solution for that. So this is what we say about a double diamond approach. Okay, so now what makes good for a startup idea? So if you guys have any idea for doing a startup, so enna requirements irukku? So whatever things, okay, so these are the questions you have to ask. Okay, the main questions. Now if 5 phase earlier, from that 5 phase, these are the questions you have to know. Whenever a design thinking comes in the center in the place, the first thing is empathy. So empathy is for whom you are developing the solution. That is most important thing. For whom you are developing the solution and why you are developing the solution. Okay, so that answers your empathy and the defined question. For whom and why you are developing. That is the two most important questions. Next one is what you're going to develop and how you're going to develop, right? So what and how, that are the next two phases where comes your ideate and prototype. So first one is who is nothing but who is going to be a stakeholders, and why, the problem statement. And next one is here what, so what solution you're going to give, that is your idea. Then how you are going to develop that idea into a prototype. Okay, then finally you have to test and validate. So these are the basic essential things for a good startup idea. Okay, so that is where you can transform to an entrepreneur. Okay, so this is the basic things of a design thinking. Okay, so ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்ல போனா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் கொடுத்தனா, don't fix with that problem statement because it is a generalized problem statement. But from that problem statement you have to come to a narrow down problem statement. So if you want to come to the narrow down problem statement, definitely you should analyze who should be your end users or your stakeholders. So if you are able to get the feedback from your stakeholders, then definitely you can narrow down your solutions. Once you narrow down your problem statement, you think variety of solution for that problem statement, and finally you come with one single problem idea where you can commercialize for the market. So these are the things which I really want to focus. Okay, so this will be a very useful concept. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, even Google, okay, those companies are for IBM also are following this design thinking approach for their product development. Okay, that is where they become a successful industries in the market today, right? And added to this, my faculty colleague Dr. Yavanand will talk about the IPR and other things. Okay, so I'll hand over the session to Mr. Yavanand. Yavanand sir.
Thank you, Ranjit. Thank you.
So you can start.
Yes. Can you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah.
Yoganand sir, kindly unmute.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yavanand sir, your voice is not audible.
Yes.
Yavanand sir?
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you, Ranjit. Can you able to see the screen? Yes.
No, sir, you have to switch the window to the presentation.
I have switched the presentation.
I think you are sharing your entire screen.
Okay.
You have to switch the window to the presentation. You have to move from your Google Meet to the presentation.
Present your entire screen or window?
Pardon me, sir.
Sir, entire window, sir. You can share a window, sir.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah, I can see your screen, sir, but share a PPT, sir. Select your PPT, sir.
Just a moment. My PPT, I'm not unable to. Can you able to see now?
Yes, sir. It
Yes.
is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the delay, right? So it's a good session with Ranjit actually. So Ranjit, I've been discussing about the design thinking process. Now I'll just touch upon the importance of IPR, right? So IPR is supposed to play a more vital role in the design process also. So whatever the idea that we generate, we need to protect those idea, right? So here it's just an eye-opening session, and it's our responsibility as a recognized innovation ambassador of IPR and technology transfer. So it's our due responsibility to create some awareness on this innovation and IPR, right? So Ranjit talked about the innovation, right? So the design thinking and other process. Now I'll just touch upon some of the basics and the importance of holding the idea, right? So how we can generate this idea, right? So what is an IPR, right? So what is a property, right? So what do you mean by a property, right? We know about the properties can be divided into two types, that is tangible and intangible. So tangible means that could be able to touch, right? So the car, buildings, and assets what we have, right? So all these things comes under this tangible property conditions, right? So the shares or some of the bonds what we keep, and also this intangible property, that is your intellectual property. So this comes under the intangible property which you cannot touch or feel it, right? So that is what you call it as an intangible one. So in this IP, in this intellectual property, you have this intellectually property related and copyright related, right? So you have this intellectual property related means you have this patents, designs, trademarks, and geographical indications, and also you have another classifications, what you call it as a copy, which is supposed to be copyright related. Okay, so these are all the two important things which we are mainly concerned about, and we will just move on. What are the most important IPRs, right? So you have this patents, you have this trademarks, you have this copyrights, you have this industrial designs, so in geographical indications, all these things. So in the previous session, Ranjit was discussing about the design thinking ideas, right? So all these things comes under this ideas category. So how do I protect this idea, right? So if I write a story, I need to protect it. I need to register with some recognized organization that this is my story and this is what nobody should take a film on that. Likewise, you protect it. Similarly, whenever we generate some ideas, right? So a simple designs like your hook or your safety pin is also an idea which has been to be patented. So there are more number of ideas and patents that needs to be protected, which would create some incentives and other things for the inventor. So that would encourage the inventor or innovator to generate more ideas for his taste. Okay, now we'll just know about what do you mean by patent, and what do you mean by a trademark, what do you mean by a copyright, and what are the industrial designs and geographical indications. So this is supposed to be the basic and essential need why we need to have an IPR, right? So this will definitely provide an incentive to the individuals for the new creations. Okay, so if your individual is creating the new things, he needs to be acknowledged and he needs to be rewarded. And then you need to accord the due recognition for the creators and inventor, and you need to ensure the material reward for the intellectual property. So to make and also to make available genuine and original products. So these are all the most important needs why we need to go for an IPR. Okay, so this IPR is supposed to be, you see, whenever, so people always used to think that I need to work till the last breath, right? So whenever you look into some of the most important book, I think people would have learned about this Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, right? So, and also the most renowned um, richest person called Warren Buffett always used to sleep, used to tell, whenever you sleep, your ideas and other things has to generate income. Then only you can be very comfortable at your last stage. This is one last stage instance. When you're older age, you need to create money for your, you need to create wealth as much as you can, right? So whenever you don't need to work, money has to work for you. This is always your, the Robert Kiyosaki always used to tell. Okay, so whenever you create an idea, you need to work on that idea and you need to patent it, and that idea has to generate more and more money. Okay, so that is one of the most important thing of an IPR. So how do I need to protect this idea, right? So this is an idea which normally we come across. Okay, so people used to tell, you need to protect this idea, I need to protect this. What are the modes of protecting this idea? Every country has a recognized IPR protecting agent. I mean, IP government recognized body is there, which normally protects your idea, right? So similarly, you have this in our country. So the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, so the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is under that category, there is one Department of Industry Policy and Promotion which is there. So that is the one which is going to have a control of the patents. Okay, so what all the ideas that are generated that they used to record and they used to protect your idea. Okay, so similarly, as like a registered office which we register our land or some of the properties under that, and that maintains it. So similarly, the central government body which comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry holds a control of this patents, design and trademark. There is a Controller General of Patents and Patents, Designs and Trademark, as like your registrars in your register office, which is what is stationed in all our state in our Tamil Nadu state. So similarly, you have in central, you have a Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. So under him, you have this Patent Design Office, Patent and Design Office you have, and Trademark Registry Office, and Geographical Indication Registry Office, and then you have Patent Information System. Okay, so this is the most important things that is operating in our country. So when you take this Patent and Design Office, you have this Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Ahmedabad. You have all these Patent Design Office. So whenever you create an idea, you can approach this office and you can register your patent. So similarly, you have this Trademarks and Registry Office, where you can register all your trademarks. So what are the trademarks which normally called as an Agmark trademark, right? So trademark in the sense, now I create this Milky Mist that is supposed to be a trademark which I create, right? So for that registry of this trademark, you have this Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Ahmedabad. So Annapurna, Anandas, all these things are supposed to be called as the trademarks. And the another one is your Geographical Indication Registry. So Geographical Indication Registry means, say for example, Kovilpatti is very much famous for this groundnut candies. Okay, so Kadala Muttai is romba famous. So Kovilpatti is supposed to have a geographical indication right for that particular product. Okay, so that could be registered under Chennai, but that is not controlled by an individual, but it is controlled by a group of entities. Okay, and then you have this Patent Information Office, which is situated in which is what we call it as the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management, which controls the total information about the patents. So whatever the patents that people are getting registered, all these patents and other things are being recorded there, and they normally retrieve those records for your team. Okay, so this is all about the overview about how this the patent registry is being followed in our country. Okay, so then what do I need to know about this validity of this patent? Okay, so some information which I just wanted to give you is, so say for example, if I wanted to take up a patent, you can protect that patent for 20 years I own. Okay, so now I create one design and I submit it for as a patent, then I can hold that for 20 years. Okay, so every year it's mandatory for renewal, and this is being controlled by the 1970 Act, and it has been amended in 2005. So this is what all about your patent. So patent can be protected for 20 years, and the trademark you can protect it for lifelong. Okay, and that you can renew for every 10 years. Okay, and then this trademark is being governed at formed at 1999, and it is amended in the year 2010. Okay, and this any designs you created, okay, so that design you can protect for minimum of 15 years, and after 10 years and after 5 years you have to renew it, and that comes under the Design Act and Design Amendment Act in the 2014. Okay, and then copyright. Okay, so anything what you create, say I create a new PPT, okay, that can be copyrighted, and that could be protected for 20-60 years. So anything whatever that created by an individual, you can obtain a copyright, and that does not need any renewal. And also the Copyright Act is created in the year 1957, and it has been amended in the year 2012. And then you have the fifth one, which is what you call it as a geographical indication. Okay, geographical indication. So geographical indication, you can protect it as a lifelong, but it could be renewed every 10 years, and this is being controlled by the Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act by 1999. Okay, so this is all about the validities of your IPRs. Okay, so whenever I create an IPR, I would be able to protect it. How long years I'd be able to protect it, right? So that is what it means for. Okay, and then another one is this patent will normally cease and be transferred to the public domain if it is not renewed within the 6 months of your expiry. If you're not renewing that patent, then naturally it is just going to it is going to transfer to the public domain. You don't need to go for that. So this is a simple example between the relations between the IPR. Okay, so the relations between the IPR. So the logo of a Coca-Cola. Okay, so the Coca-Cola logo, if you look at, this is an innovative logo. So whatever the design that I'm just coming into your mind, I'm just replicating it. So this is a design which I don't want any of the person in the world needs to copy. So the Coca-Cola is an example of a trademark, and the shape of the bottle. Okay, the shape of the bottle is supposed to be the industrial design, which I don't want anybody to copy that design. Okay, so I have certain technical things I follow, and I just create the design. So when you look into the Ambassador car in the earlier days, you'd be looking at as a very, very big structure, and then Swift, if you could look in, you have a different structure. And so if you look into Honda Amaze, you have different sections. All these designs can be, the shapes and other things comes under this industrial design category, and you can protect it. So the patent, okay, so patent may be obtained in respect to bottling that equipment. So how am I going to bottle that equipment? So that for that you can obtain a patent. And the copyright is that one which respect to the text and the database and the artistic work that appears on the website. All these things, everything can be copyrighted. So this is a single product that can be protected with more than one IPR. So this is an example for a single product which has a more number of IPR. So similarly, you have this Pepsi, Coke, Pepsi and Mazda. All these things have their own ideas and other things. Okay, so what is this patent? So this is an exclusive right of an inventor to protect others from processing it and using and selling and manufacturing or importing the patented invention, or offering to do any of these with a definite geographical idea. Okay, so this is the thing what I don't want any of the persons to copy or process or any selling right. So I create one product and some of the person come and use it by copying it. I don't want it to do so, right? So, and moreover, this patent have territorial jurisdiction, That is, we have to register the patents in all the countries where we have our interest. Okay, so this is one important thing. Say for example, if I create one, if I run a gym, okay, so if I run some sports entity, say for example, if I'm running a DBS Academy of Sports, okay, so I have various branches. I should not, some other person should not just start with that DBS Sports Academy of Sports. So DBS becomes a brand, okay. So DBS, if I wanted to create that as a thing, then that is a brand. Then I don't want any of the other person to use that name, because my market is being misused by the is being misled by the customers. Okay, say for example, normally we have more number of colleges starting with the same thing. So people used to take this college as the one, and normally when you go to that, so this is not the college which I selected. I selected that some Coimbatore Institute of Technology or Coimbatore Institute of Engineering Technology. So a lot of things people used to play. So we need to be very much careful with the things. Okay, and the patent application can be filed online in India by the inventor or his assignee. Okay, so if I wanted to file a patent for my idea, then I can file on my own, or I can assign one agent, which I call it as an assignee, and that assignee will submit the application for that. So this you can visit this ipiindia.nic.in and you can see about those informations. So what are the criteria for this patentability? So what are the criteria for patentability? It should be novel and it should have some inventive step. I mean, it must not be an obvious one. Obvious ones in the sense it should not be a natural one. Okay, and it should have the capability for the industrial applications. Say for example, as Ranjit told, it should satisfy the basic needs of your customers, of the people. Okay, so whenever you design it, it should be useful for the people and not fall within the provision of Section 3 and 4 of the Patents Act. There are certain rules which cannot be followed. So that patent, what does that Patent Act tell is that? So there are which are the inventions which cannot be patented if it is very obvious or obvious. That is, it should not be it should not be an obvious one. Okay, naturally occurring things cannot be patented, and contrary to the established natural laws, and it should not injure the public health, mere arrangement or rearrangements, discovery of scientific principles, and discovery of living things and non-living substances in the nature, and method of agriculture or horticulture. Say for example, recently in the northern parts of India, some chips company wanted to hold that rights of farming that potato, right? So they wanted to have an IPR for that, and they hindered the farmers to not to cultivate those kind of crops, that rare variety of property. So that becomes invalid in the jurisdiction. So similarly, agricultures and method of agricultures or horticultures cannot be patented. And one important thing is that a mathematical business method or a computer program cannot be patented. If you wanted to create a computer program, that cannot be patented. But when you create it as a product, okay, so now I created with a product, like I created some gearbox and other things, and for that gearbox I create one software for that, then that becomes a product which is a part of and software becomes a part of it. That product can be patented, and atomic energy cannot be patented at all. Okay, so that something related to atomic energy cannot be patented. So this is all about the patent and other things. So coming to the patent filing procedure. Okay, so what is the patent filing procedures which we have? So whenever you file, you have two categories, right? A fast process and a rapid process, which we come across. That is, within 18 months you can get a patent, or you get a 48 months patent. But only thing is that it varies with respect to the charges. Okay, when you file a patent, that needs to be published. Okay, so when you file the patent, that would be published to the public. So if there is any pre-grant oppositions is coming up, and then we go with the initial procedures, hearing and decision that it is refused or grant. If it is granted, then we go with the normal process. But whenever you come across these normal 48 months process, you request for the examination and you in issuance of the first examiner report, and then after issuing the first examiner report, you go for the filing response, and then you grant it. Then you will be going with the grant notification, and then you have, if you have any post grant opposition, then you get the refuse or you grant it. Okay, so whenever you come, you submit your, you file your patent, the normal things that you need to understand is that, so some things which you always come across is that how many days does it take to get a patent, right? So if you spend some money, you can get it for 18 months, or if you don't spend much of your amount, let it be on the thing, then you need to wait for 48 months. But nowadays, people are not going for the 48 months process. Now they are just making everything as a rapid. Okay, so because of the technological advancements, all the integration of all these patent informations, now everybody is able to review all the patents and other things. So we are just going with the rapid process itself. So this is now normal things normally followed in all the things normally followed in our country. And some of the useful information which I would like to share is that in India, patent rights are being governed by the Patent Act of 1970. Okay, so that Patent Act, you can just remember that. And for the applications of patent, there are rules made by the government, and that is being known as Patent Rules of 2003. And now it has been amended in 2006, and also it has been amended in September 2015, which are in force. And for better understanding, you can refer this draft manual practice and procedures of 2008, which is made by the Patents Office. So whenever you want more information, you can just visit this website called ipiindia.nic.in. So since being your diploma candidates, I want this would be of more information. I'm not sharing much of the information because you can just visit this website, and if you have any clarifications, you can feel free to contact us for any of the doubts and other things. Okay, so with this session, I would like to conclude my presentation, and I thank the organizers for giving me a wonderful opportunity to interact with you guys. Thank you, SRPTC, and thank you, Shankar, and thank you, Samyukta Madam. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Anand sir and Ranjit sir, for being here and spending your valuable time in motivating our students and enriching them with your knowledge on design thinking, innovation, and IPR. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
கிளம்பிட்டாங்க